Spain is planning to issue close to 1 million new residence permits. To be precise, the government has announced a target of 300,000 new permits per year. The justification, as reported by the New York Times, is straightforward. The Spanish economy needs at least 250,000 foreign workers annually to sustain its growth. The Prime Minister has been clear that the new simplified rules apply to legal migrants only, not to people who crossed into Spain illegally or are seeking asylum. In this video, I want to explain why Spain is doing this, what it means for people considering a move, and how you can actually get a Spanish residence permit in as little as 2 months. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Wise Move channel. I'm Eugene, one of the founders of our immigration agency. I live in Spain myself, so I understand firsthand why people want to move here. Life in Spain is relatively affordable and genuinely comfortable. The food quality is excellent, the nature is beautiful, the climate is good, and the local population is warm and easy to connect with. That applies not just to you personally, but to your whole family. Kids adapt quickly, adults build social lives here faster than in most European countries. At the same time, Spain has one of the most open and pragmatic immigration systems in the EU. The local immigration authorities are remarkably flexible. For example, you can arrive in Spain on a regular Schengen tourist visa and file your residence application from inside the country without leaving, something almost no other EU country allows. According to the Expat Quality of Life Index published by Internations, Spain ranks first out of 46 countries. More than 84% of expats surveyed say they're satisfied with their life here, well above the global average. That said, let me be honest about the downsides, because Spain is not the right fit for everyone. The first limitation is the job market. If you're a software engineer or a specialist in a high-demand technical field, and your main goal is to find the highest-paying employment in Europe as quickly as possible, Spain is probably not your first choice. The country's economy is primarily built around tourism and agriculture. There is a tech sector and a startup ecosystem, but they're significantly smaller than what you'd find in Germany, the Netherlands, France, or the UK. A developer friend of mine moved from Barcelona to Amsterdam, and his salary went up by almost 50% in the same role. After taxes, his take-home is still considerably higher in Amsterdam than it was in Spain. So if maximizing employment income is the priority, other EU countries will serve you better. The second consideration is the climate. Southern Spain gets very hot in summer, and that's not for everyone. That said, not all of Spain is the same. My wife and I live in the Girona province, about an hour north of Barcelona, 5 minutes from the sea, and the climate here is significantly milder. We rarely see extreme heat. But climate change is making summers hotter across the whole continent, and even in our area this past summer was difficult. There are also mountain regions in the Pyrenees with cooler temperatures, but the overwhelming majority of expats settle in Barcelona, Madrid, or the southern coast, Malaga and Torrevieja being popular choices. And those areas do get very hot. Housing is another genuine challenge. Finding an apartment in a popular area, Barcelona, Madrid, Malaga, can take months, and the options available don't always match what you're looking for. When my wife and I were looking, we expanded our search to a 100-kilometer radius from Barcelona in both directions and found our apartment in a small coastal town in 3 days. My friend who moved to Barcelona this past spring spent 2 months searching and eventually settled for something that wasn't quite what he wanted, then moved again a month later when something better came up. So go in with realistic expectations on housing, especially in the major cities. A few other things worth mentioning. Petty crime, phone snatching, pickpocketing, car break-ins is a real issue in Barcelona and Madrid, largely connected to the growth in irregular migration. It's something you need to be aware of and adapt to, especially in tourist-heavy areas. In our small town of 5,000 people, it's essentially non-existent. Locals leave bikes unlocked on the street and don't lock their front doors. So the experience varies a lot depending on where in Spain you actually live. And in the summer peak season, the tourist density in central Barcelona is simply overwhelming. If you live near the historic districts, you'll feel that every day. Now, back to the bigger picture. The political tension around immigration in Spain mirrors what's happening across Europe. Rising support for right-leaning parties that want tighter immigration controls, ongoing parliamentary debates, public frustration tied to illegal migration and crime. But what's important to understand, and Spain's situation is the same as France's here, is that when governments tighten immigration rules, the restrictions almost universally target irregular migration. The programs designed for skilled professionals, entrepreneurs, investors, and people with financial means are consistently exempted. That's been the pattern in France, and it's the stated position in Spain as well. The New York Times piece explicitly notes that the new simplified rules do not apply to people who entered the country illegally. The New York Times article I've been referencing is actually based on an announcement from last year, and the new simplified rules have already been in effect since May 2025. So the 300,000 target is already being pursued this year. We'll have actual numbers in a few months. In terms of what's available right now, Spain's immigration programs continue to work extremely well. Getting a residence permit here is genuinely easier than anywhere else in the EU. The requirements are accessible for a wide range of people. What you essentially need is a demonstrable financial base, savings in a bank account, passive income, or remote income you can document. Our team handles the document preparation and structures the financial part of the application correctly. The process takes about 2 weeks of preparation and roughly 2 months from submission to receiving your permit. In 3 years of running this program, we have not had a single final rejection. We work with Spain, all EU countries, the UK, and the US. If you want to understand which country and which program fits your specific situation, book a free consultation through the link in the description. No hard sell, just a genuine look at your case and the best options available. See you in the next one.